And we are coming right back to you. Game 2 starting up. University of Florida on the red side and Team Anggi on the blue side. I do realize I had those plates mixed up. I had UF on red and Anggi on blue. Kind of happens. I thought they'd be on the red side. They're on the bottom side of the bracket, but it's okay. That doesn't matter. It's all good now. I didn't have to change anything. That was the entire goal of that. Starting right away, we already noticed a huge change in bans from Anggi, Darius, and Braum being prioritized here. Actually, Braum, I think, was still before Darius getting Bando thrown into there, and that is going to be the Jarvan picked up right away for Anggi. And the response, naturally, the Galio for University of Florida, taking away that Galio-Jarvan combo known well in the LPL. And it's gone, just like that. None of that. Not at this GatorLAN. So with the Jarvan picked up, you have to think about what are the next available junglers. Jarvan is off the table. Elise is banned by University of Florida. They do elect to go for the blind pick mid on the Orianna, knowing that Prophase's mid lane is a little bit more limited of a champ pool. But for the most part, it's still a very solid pickup, very solid blind pick. Not a whole ton that really super hard counters it, I feel like. The Rakan actually is going to come through here for the side of Team Anggi, one of the supports that they've been looking at for their pylon that they've really been running. And that's going to be, their change away from the Karma. I guess they felt like they didn't get enough of a lane advantage with it. Going to the Rakan instead to see if they can't force these fights just a little bit better.
Yeah. And you were talking about taking away that Galio J4 combo, but what about also the Orianna J4 combo and giving UF the Galio Orianna?
Exactly. I think that also really does give them a much more of a wombo for the University of Florida. It does make it just a little bit harder, but the Alistar will just make it just a little bit easier to get those shockwaves off.
My Orianna playing self is getting really happy for you.
That's a lot of CC coming in for University of Florida. Sivir actually picked up first rotation for Team Anggi. Kind of surprising.
Yeah.
I guess they just didn't want to reveal their solo laners just yet, even with the Orianna already picked. Instead, electing to go with the Sivir, a little bit more of a run at you, and again, just going for that pylon. And you just have to wonder maybe if University of Florida can't just find a way to explode that Sivir. Although, with having that spell shield, and be able to do that with all this dive. I mean, all these champions are dive at this point.
Yeah, we haven't really seen much of Sivir today or in high league
in general.
So I'm wondering if maybe Anggi's figured out some sort of cheesy new rune build.
The Eve ban coming through, targeted at Salamander Man. I heard he was happy about that. And that is Echo and Jace coming in as the last bans for University of Florida. Team Anggi waiting their last ban. And of course then their first pick with their solo laners available, banning the Zac. Oh, actually, this first pick, goes towards the red side. My mistake. That's why I'm only in gold.
Hey, you're talking to a silver 3, no judgment there.
Zac also coming in, really respecting Salamander Man's ability to play around the map. Although I felt like he could have had a little bit more of a presence. He did essentially nullify what the Sejuani could do. Coming in though with the Vi pick, that's been his go-to today. Yeah. And he's throwing out some fists already.
So now we have 3 people who are in position to set up for a shockwave, but I'm thinking Anggi's probably going to respond by camping the crap out of Orianna.
Yeah, especially with the Malzahar, just a little bit of a flash R, making it just a little bit easier to pick Prophase than it actually was before. Still, Prophase on another immobile champ makes it just that much easier, especially Jarvan Malzahar, really kind of disgusting. You might be able to juke the flying jack, but you can't juke a point and click.
But notice, we were talking about Tristan Kate. Neither of them
the
got
Ornn
banned.
got through.
Oh, who's the Ornn main here?
The Ornn main is You Are Not Alone, actually. That's been a respect ban we've been seeing all day against Anggi, finally getting through.
Oh boy.
That's something that I've heard the UF coaches even say is pretty broken for the most part. They just haven't wanted it, but they let it through. I think it's going to be an issue in this game. Hovering Vayne, actually, that'd be exciting. But instead, it looks like they're going to elect with the Tristana pick to round out their team comp, and that will actually be it. No! Lucian coming through 4 fat booty. To get some giggles coming from the crowd. That's one of his premier champs, actually. Pretty good at kiting, super safe with all this dive, like we said, can easily juke some of these skill shots to flag and drag, get out of the Cataclysm, dodge the ram. But will it pump out the damage it needs? That's the question. Press the attack is a pretty darn good mastery, as we've been seeing, especially for Lucian. It has made him rebound a little bit, but isn't enough versus this tank shred that comes with the Malzahar and the Sivir, and this backline dive with the Ornn, with the Rakan, with the Jarvan, that could just really obliterate the backline for the University of Florida.
Yeah, that mid-range Lucian is making me a little nervous, but we'll see. If that's a champion that he's really good on, then maybe he knows a way around it.
He does have some protection around him with the Galio, with the Alistar, and of course Orianna providing just a little bit of extra shielding coming through. But double spell shield on the side of Team Anggi, Sivir with her E, Malzahar with the Void Shift.
Yeah, that didn't occur to me at first.
Kind of wondering, is this dive really going to be able to be effective, or just, with these spell shields being up, or can they somehow get these abilities down and then manage to also pull off the engage? There's not a whole lot of long-range poke. Lucian culling being really the longest thing they have besides Galio committing himself into the fight. Vi gonna have a little bit of trouble CCing one of her priority targets. Both of those carries, like I said, having the spell shield, it's gonna be kind of hard to get in on them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can definitely foresee Sivir spell shielding the shockwave and just sitting there and just throwing out the heavy damage on all these close range champions.
And like I mentioned, the Flash R coming in on the mid lane for Anggi, for Arkimist. Same thing happening in these team fights. If the Malzahar just managed to go unscathed, can he just somehow just lock down one of the primary carries in this fight? Maybe even lock down Vi before she can do anything to get on this backline.
I think the most devastating thing Malzahar could do is take out Lucian or Orianna and just rob them of that damage that they really need in these fights.
100% agree. Real beefy front lines on both sides. Ornn, Jarvan on the side of Anggi. Galio, Alistar on the side of the University of Florida. Traplock electing, of course, into the Alistar again, is one of his more well-known champions, one of his more practiced ones. Prophase on, again, one of his more comfortable champions. And Fat Booty actually electing for comfortable champion Lucian versus a Tristana, which I actually find is kind of interesting. But, probably thinking that Ram and the Jarvan Cataclysm, maybe you really just can't get away from that unless you can just somehow outplay them and just really kind of move quick around rather than having a single jump to reset with, especially against an Ornn, which gets super insanely tanky. But as I mentioned, I'm still kind of worried about this damage shred of the Lucian versus an Ornn. Orianna really much more of a burst mage, providing only her command dissonance and her shockwave to deal burst damage against the carries. Can the Lucian cut through an Ornn Jarvan while BCC'd by a Rakan if that manages to happen? It's kind of worrying me for the side of University of Florida. I think giving Team Anggi just a better team fight advantage in general. Mm-hmm. I could be wrong about that, but that's what I'm personally thinking when I'm looking at these comps.
Yeah. I think that really comes down to Lucian's mechanics, being able to sort of walk around all of these people who are going to be diving at him.
Exactly.
Inevitably.
And where does the Orianna ult get used? Does the Orianna get focused down for she can use Shockwave and use this Shockwave while both carries still have their spell shields? Or does the Lucian get focused down so that the tanks don't actually ever die? I think it'll be kind of a tough game for the University of Florida, but they do have an insane advantage to Snowball, but so does Anggi again in this game, electing with all that CC like we had once mentioned.
We have seen a lot of Orianna today though, and we know just from watching that a successful Shockwave is just devastating in these team fights.
Exactly, especially with no spell shields. If they can manage to get those down, even if just Alistar goes in and uses his E to somehow get the Void Shift down, if that would be enough for an Orianna Shockwave and just burst down the carries.
Here we go.
As we get into game, we'll see what items do come through. It should be nothing too different. Should be pretty standard for the most part. They rearrange these plates. So that we have kind of a clear view of these mid lane fights. Sorry, not mid lane fights, but of each individual lane matchup and position matchup.
Good stuff. Yeah, it confuses me when these side tabs aren't lined up according to their roles perfectly.
Yeah, I'm just kind of looking at the bottom though, I'm not gonna lie. I see a champion like, okay, where are they? Oh, I can't really find their summon skill. That's okay. We're just nitpicking at this point.
Yep.
Nothing super important.
While we're waiting for the game to start.
Game's starting, just not a whole lot happening.
Yeah, everyone's being pretty cautious about getting in the water.
Yeah, just standard kind of spanning out across the map, committing 3 towards the bomb side. Of course, Orianna is still sitting around the mid side area. Might be starting Raptors here, which I have personally seen Salamander Man do before, which I find is really interesting, electing not to get that bot lane leash. With Jarvan also starting on the top side, very interesting. The fact that it's very different this game compared to last game, where both junglers last game did get the bot lane leash.
Mm-hmm.
You just have to wonder if then both teams are really electing to focus the bottom side of the map here.
Be that way. I think Jarvan and Vi both have pretty equal gank potential in that early game.
Oh, they definitely do. Jarvan, though, with the potential to knock out multiple people, but Vi with the ability to burst down a single target.
We just saw Galio's Q up top not really scratching.
Ornn, yeah, definitely not. This Ornn's going to be able to sit around this lane. Koma's going to be burning a lot of his mana if he really wants to try to poke down the Ornn. But Ornn just going to have a living forge, can just keep buying items and just stay in this lane for as long as he wants. Really, might be able to see over time a CS advantage occur out of it, especially if Koma has to back, burning through his mana. Actually, there's a dank already on the top side, burns a flash out of Ornn. Galio coming through, shredding him down. Is it going to be enough? Go underneath turret. No, he will escape a little sliver of health. Komba, though, takes a few too many turret shots. Does get low himself. Will still be 0 for 0. No flash on the Ornn, though. Both top laners are low. And standard stuff here on the bot side of the map. Alistar having that relic shield versus the ancient coin on Rakan, offering just a little bit of a different team fight. With the Alistar, with the ability to provide just a little bit of instant healing in some trades.
Uh-oh. Looks like Anggimist is a little excited there with the spell shield, so maybe that'll end up to US advantage later.
About a 20-second cooldown. Maybe they'll try to go in. It's still pretty early in this game, though, to really accumulate such a huge advantage out of it. Looks like it's just going to try to freeze it, actually, here. Sivir does have pretty good wave clear for the most part, so we'll eventually get under turret. They do use the fact that that spell shield's down to get a little bit more farm. It's Arkimist does go pretty low in the mid lane, actually. Jarvan was pulled mid, too, so Prophase actually providing a lot of map pressure early on in this game. They are aware that the Jarvan is there. Those pings coming through.
Every Orianna I've sat behind today has been really aggressive with poking with her Q, so I guess that must be what's happening there. On the other hand, she has to watch out for gank.
Is this Ornn have? This Ornn has a biscuit. And he is the minion.
Is he kleptomancy?
I don't think he's kleptomancy now. It looks like.
Huh.
I can't actually tell. They're like, oh wait, actually click. I actually don't even know how you tell in this what masteries they have. Oh well. Looks like the bot lane is going in for a trade here. Rakan being stunned up actually is going to be a trade there, still in the favor of Team Anggi. About half health for both the ADC support on University of Florida. And that Ornn just going to be annoying. That new brittle effect showing that off to us right now.
Look at how little Galio's, that is his Q, is doing.
Yeah, Winds of War. Ooh. Actually, we got a little bit of action. The gank on the boss side. Everybody's going low, flashes out, heals. He will be out. Trap luck. Looking like he's going to try to get something. TP being burnt towards the bot side does get canceled. A little bit of that is a waste of a teleport coming out. And, Galio, no TP, half health, lower mana on the top side of the map. Ornn is going to have a bit of an advantage right now in that lane. Although still flashless is still... There's still potential for a gank up there, but... Most parts like Koma's just having some issues with this beast of a tank. You know, and we also have to look at the fact that, you know, bot side, you know, on the side of UF, no flash, no heal, no exhaust. Alistar Flash is the only thing that's there. And Anggi electing for, again, a heal barrier. Still have all of their summoners. You just have to wonder if Jarvan's going to repeat gank down there with a fantastic pathing to get down there. No defensive wards to potentially stop that kind of a path, especially if University of Florida keep pushing. We'll see what happens. Malzahar getting close to 6. That's kind of what I'm keeping my eye on with his Flash Ghost. Potentially be able to Flash R, but he's down quite a bit of CS, down by 12 right now to Prophase in that mid lane. It's just going to be a farm off.
Yeah, you would think Malzahar would really push out Orianna, but it looks like he's holding his own.
Both junglers are on a little bit of a crash course here. Pan over to that. We're being placed down. Like, Salamander Man would have to know that the Jarvan was there. Jarvan actually going to be on recall. Does know that the Vi is there to clear Scuttle and gain map pressure there. That's actually kind of cool. He just uses E to kill that Scuttle off the plant. Trying to show off.
Yeah, just maybe he knew the camera was on him.
Put that on plays.tv. I'd watch that. I'd give that a like, 100%. Retweet it. Best play of the tournament. Already, Anggi jungler walking on that ward. They know where he is. They know where he's going. They know that red buff is coming up. No, US bot lane does know to be more careful here. Probably not going to get engaged on here with that information. On top of that, you know, by having had that invade earlier, dropping down that ward is on that blue buff. Jarvan doesn't have a whole ton of places to go. Drops his own pink towards the mid lane. That's what they're going to try to get, is now mid lane priority. Malzahar Jarvan versus Vi Orianna. It's going to be another one of those later first blood kind of games. Both teams playing it pretty safe, playing it pretty smart. Although I do think University of Florida did have a slight ward advantage, although, you know, they do have a little bit more wards on the top side versus Anggi having more wards on the bot side, but definitely University of Florida has more information than Anggi does right now. Those wards by Anggi are still pretty fresh.
That was an interesting pink ward that they put down. I guess they're just contesting everything.
That's what they like to do, especially if his 16 pink ward mid laner. I don't know how many he put down last game. I don't get to see those stats, unfortunately. Vi is queuing over the wall towards that tribush. It is warded, will be spotted out. Will be responded to. If he gets jumped on, will not be. Instead, Jarvan does show himself again. They know where he is. Should have maybe just let that bot lane snag that for themselves.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Jarvan having to recall now. You know, nothing on the bot side. Although University of Florida does go in with that Alistar, Jarvan is on the bot side of the map. They are going to back off. Smart trade. Coma, though, getting engaged on by the Ornn, getting pretty low. Legasoka dropping real low. Diving, Q, auto, first blood topside for the Ornn. Does go down, though, in the end, but GG worth first blood gold for Team Anggi.
I honestly did not expect Ornn to die there. I thought, you know, he would have gotten away a little bit. With a little bit of health left.
It is a trade of flashes.
Yeah.
It does look like University of Florida does have a slight advantage in that bot lane now, showing that they can trade. Actually, they have a massive advantage. I look at it, 30 CS.
Makes you wonder what's been happening when the camera wasn't there.
Makes you wonder why I'm not paying attention to the CS scores. 15 CS advantage also in the mid lane. And a dragon advantage. That's going to be another Ocean Drake just to kind of top off the health bars whenever they can, rotating two objectives. And University of Florida sitting, you know, in a pretty decent spot, up 700 early. You know, maybe it's not a lot, but it's something to get started with.
He's not doing it right now, but I've seen Alistar get kind of sassy and just get ahead of the wave to harass and keep Sivir off it, and maybe that's why Lucian's so far ahead.
I mean, we're seeing that right now, just being completely zoned off. Coma back towards the top side, try to keep competing with this Ornn. This amount of damage coming through, actually. Take down the Ram. What? I wanted to say the cow, but the ram's not a cow.
We already have the cow.
It's just a living forge god, I guess. That's what that thing is. I don't know. What's the name of his ult, actually? It's like both teams getting kind of rowdy. Wonder what's gonna happen in the next 3 minutes. Not a whole lot to talk about right now, other than that one dragon advantage, the 600, 700 gold advantage that UF does have right now. A lot of wards over that dragon where that was taken, but you know, right now Anggi with a slight ward advantage over that Rift Herald area. It's gonna be a pink ward cleared out by Coma to really try to limit the amount of vision that's up there, but that's just really towards around that top side island being created right now. One is just pesky. Wow, that's a lot of damage coming through.
And not a scratch on him.
All he has is a Catalyst and a Negatron Cloak. He's just chunking down a Galio. I never thought I'd say it, but I thought Galio was stupid tanky. That's not the case.
You see him building kind of magey with the Roa first.
It's been kind of standard with the recent AP buffs towards Galio. You know, for a while right after that we saw a lot of full AP Galio coming through. Not really, you know, effective. Kind of a weird solo queue strat that was like kind of bad, I guess.
Yeah.
No, still electing for that road though. It does give him a little bit of tank stats early on top of the fact that his W does keep him alive for quite a while. Does also then give him more damage. Training the lane, nice engage. Especially this need to come out a little bit earlier to nullify that engage from Anggimist.
And again, we see Alistar just threatening, and he's telling Silver, you can't milk these, and you can't get the CS either.
Jarvan on the bot side though, Alistar just go in, not seeing that teleport coming in for Coma on this Galio. TP also coming in for the Ornn. Elliot's just gonna give a little bit of resistances towards the Lucian, although that's gonna be jumped on. Nice frame knockup by the Rakan, and that's gonna be a clean house for Team Anggi, 3-0.
I'm speechless right now. I'm still processing that whole engage there.
Oh,
I mean, what went wrong was that Lucian just got taken down so quickly.
got taken out so quickly, didn't really have a way out. You got the Galio ult burned so early just to give resistances while he was slowed by the Ornn. Still walking forward. You know, just you have not seen that Jarvan there. You know, if they can see that potentially can back off of that, maybe reset, and then the fight goes in their favor. Even with those TPs coming through, and maybe the Jarvan still reaching through, but lack of warding, or just, you know, great sense of clearing by Team Anggi, netting them a real net positive play. As Prophase actually looking towards the bot, uses the shockwave. Rakan really low, takes him down actually. Anggi takes a flash, barrier coming out of Anggimist. Low, and that's Prophase coming out with the 1v2 double kill. Well played. And Malzahar happens. Ult coming through, not going to do a whole lot to Coma. That's just a tanky Galio right now.
Yeah.
No real tank shred yet for the Malzahar, but that'll change pretty soon.
And we'd be remiss to say that even though we...
Stopwatch?
Okay.
Fat finger.
Maybe.
Happens. You know, trying to hit his emote. Accidentally hit stopwatch.
Well, so while that team fight went so wrong for UF in the bot lane, Vi actually did take advantage of that situation and went ahead and popped the Herald top lane and got the first turret. So it wasn't a completely
complete loss, yeah.
Yeah.
So overall, still net positive. First turret blood gold still taken off the map. UF has a little bit of mid lane priority right now, shoving this in. Jarvan is going to respond to mid for both teams. Orianna actually collapsing mid by hanging around the Raptors right now. Looks like that next focus is going to be that mid lane turret and that dragon coming up. It is an Infernal. And both teams are probably going to want to have that. Just a 400 gold lead despite the fact that UF does have first blood gold and first tower blood gold. It is a 2-kill advantage for Team Anggi. That Jarvan dives way far ahead, gets blown up by the Orianna. Go a little bit too far there. They're still diving. That blue does get taken down on that Lucian, and they're still chasing. This is going to be a one fight for Anggi. Not really. There's 2 down for Anggi, actually. But the UF did have to back off of that in order to cut their losses. So it is a 2-for-1 in favor of the University of Florida. Like the fact they disengaged that.
By the way, you said First Blood went to UF. I thought it went to Anggi.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, I don't pay attention well.
It's alright. That Cheatsol dive. Malzahar has to hang out top because that wave is just too juicy to ignore.
And now we're actually at this point in the game where we're talking about the Orianna. You know, how effective can it be with the double spell shield of Team Anggi's comp? But now it's a 4-1 Orianna. There's a lot of gold on it. And now if those spell shields pop, you know, this Ori's just gonna blow up anything. You know, we saw her just blow up that Jarvan, who just dove a little bit too far. Now it's just a serious threat for this backline of Anggi, and that's something they gotta play around now. No, you have to win that last fight. And it looks like they're just starting to accrue a small advantage, although not showing so in the gold, but they're definitely still pressing the map really hard.
Last game and this game, UF is rotating very strongly. They know where the waves are, and it seems like Anggi's just been struggling to keep up. They are there though, they're in position, they're ready to respond.
Looks like this is a 4v4 on the bot side for this turret. Malzahar and the Galio are roaming down. Galio, though, can get there faster with his ultimate. UF does elect, though, to back off, and it looks like they're going to rotate back middle. Maybe just hang around here, see if any team fight kind of starts up. They give a blue buff over to the Orianna. Galio will shove in the mid wave. Probably won't get very much damage on that mid lane turret. Now it's going to be more taking up River Scuttle there on the bot side of the map. Means that that bot lane, you know, send out a split pusher, maybe 2 down there. They're just a little bit safer to take down that turret. And I think that's really what University of Florida is really looking at right now. It's just that low health turret throwing a minion wave down there, getting, and that's going to actually be an ultimate used by the Sivir. Ram being used, hits up the Lucian. No, great knockup by the Alistar, does disengage this. Still finding Death and Malzahar coming through onto the Galio, who just melts.
Orianna was pretty late to the party there.
1-for-0 for Anggi. They do have an advantage. See if they can use anything. Looks like they're just gonna actually, no, not gonna reset. They're just gonna hang around the mid lane for a little bit longer. No Malzahar ult, no Sivir ult, no Ram, no called the quickening? No quickening for the Rakan. A lot of ults being burnt. University of Florida, they still have all but the Alistar ultimate to their advantage. Right now, I feel like they just need to play around this Orianna. 4-1, has all the gold. They just need to be able to keep this Orianna around with them, and they could really win these fights pretty hard. But, you know, like you said, wasn't there last fight, pretty late to the party, and it showed. It punished the University of Florida.
Yeah. I'm not sure if UF was really even looking for a fight there, but it seemed like they just kind of ended up in one.
Got jumped on, yeah, exactly. All this dive, had to expect it. The Lucian pick, currently 0-2. We thought maybe it could be a little bit safer, but so far gotten hit by both Rams and has died for it. See if that means anything going forward.
That just goes to show, though, this Ornn really knows what he's doing and he knows who he's prioritizing.
Exactly. Ornn is pretty far ahead still, 2-1-4, along with the Sivir actually. But you know, the one lane right now that's not losing in the CS matchup, although the 50 CS advantage going towards the Lucian, that is that's a lot of kill participation on top of the Sivir to really nullify that gold out. It's like Baron will be live within 30 seconds. Next dragon still a ways off, so it's just going to be pushing for this bot in mid turret right now for University of Florida, and for Anggi just defending and seeing if they can get any more picks and taking down a tower or two of their own off of those picks. That's really what their game plan is going to be right now. 800 gold advantage for UF Team 1. Not a whole lot at this point in the game. A lot of it right now is on this Orianna, and they need to be able to make a play with her, although she's alone on the bot side of the map against the Ornn.
Who do you want to be against?
Quickening, Flash goes in on that, but he just missed up just a little bit too far forward. Does Flash out himself. Grappler does keep him safe. Nethergraph's coming in on top of the Vi. Flashes out. Ram coming through, knocks up 2 very low health bars on the side of the University of Florida. Looks like Coma gonna try to get 1, does get 1. And that is going to be the Lucian going down. The Galio getting chased down. Does get cut down. And that is going to be two for one for Anggi.
Once again, we see Ornn orchestrating these team fights with his ultimate, and Lucian's really paying for it.
Yeah, so far, still no boots on that Lucian. Not super mobile. He does have that one dash, but he's not going to get those dashes up quite as much yet. Level is he? Level... Can't quite see it yet. Once he responds, we'll be able to see. Yeah, Lucian 10.
Yeah.
Still not max ranks yet on that dash. Not really able to really just kind of keep moving around in these fights yet. Does, although, pick up the Ionian boots here. Does have max boots, but maybe we'll see if that really does make a difference moving forward. Malzahar, though, with the Liandry's Torment, does mean there's a lot more shred here on whoever he chooses to ult. Especially with that ulting, you know, having that enhanced passive damage from the Liandry's. One of my most favorite things, actually, about that item and why I think Malzahar is pretty strong for the most part. But, you know, this team fight is really starting to escalate pretty heavy. You know, every play from Anggi doing pretty good, but that's a Jarvan actually going to get caught out. EQ does not work, and that is going to be a pick for the University of Florida on the Jarvan. Prophase does collect that one up on the Orianna. 5 kills and 1 death now.
I think Anggi saw that Lucian was alone bot lane and didn't think they had anything to worry about.
Just not having that vision right now, not really pushed up in vision. You can see all of the UF jungle is black. Can't really step up into that river right now. And the UF is just waiting there, and that is a free Infernal Drake. 3 Drakes to none. Let's see, we can't catch a glimpse of what the next Drake is. No idea yet. I'm just going to pan over. It is going to actually be an Ocean Drake. And so, at this point, there's going to be potentially 2 more Drakes, I believe, in this game. More than likely only 1 that can be taken. University of Florida has 3 of them so far, and it's going to mean a very strong Elder Drake if it gets that late into the game. Again, not a whole lot of difference in the gold league, just 500 gold. These teams are pretty even right now. Looks like the team fights are going towards Anggi, but a lot of the picks are still working for University of Florida on the back of this Orianna. A lot of pings coming in onto the Baron. We saw last game was a 20-minute Baron, not true this game. It's already actually surpassed the game time from last game.
I gotta point out, when we're talking about vision, these new Ghost Poro runes are making for these ridiculous situations where you have 4 wards in 1 push.
That's gonna be called the Forge God on the Orianna. Gonna get knocked up, stunned up, and taken down by the Jarvan Cataclysm. Pick onto that 5-kill Orianna means there's not a whole lot of damage left to take, and that's gonna be a shove onto the mid-inner turret by Team Anggi, and possibly even more. You can see 4 recalls coming in from the University of Florida, and that's just going to be free tower, and they're going to back off.
That felt to me like vengeance. It felt to me like Jarvan was saying, you're going to solo shockwave me, I'm going to solo cataclysm you.
Exactly. A lot of ults were burnt again, a lot of summoner spells. Just Ghost actually burnt in the Malzahar, but all the Forge God, Cataclysm, Sivir Ultimate, I think it's On the Hunt, all being burnt just for this 1 kill. Does net 1 turret, but over and over it will mean a difference in this game. And Anggi, now it's flipping the tables, has a 1.3k gold advantage.
I was just about to say the same thing.
So now for University of Florida, 0-3 Lucian does have 2 items. Going like a weird blue build, if you want to call it that. I want to call it that at least. No, not a whole lot of damage outside the Orianna. You can't really afford to have that Orianna being picked here by the Ornn anymore. But either Orianna or Lucian. And, you know, when I was talking about earlier in the draft phase about being worried about the Lucian, be able to shred these tanks, especially when he's behind, it's just not going to happen.
Yeah. I don't know if UF's going to think of a way to respond to all these Ornn ultimates that are taking them out.
Even, you know, Galio wants no part of this. He's trying to back out. You know, the shield just nullifies any damage that comes out. You just notice he's coming through Ornn, taking no damage.
Looks like he's trying to keep him there.
100%. That's actually the Baron startup at University of Florida. And again, Anggi just does not know. They do kind of sense that something is off. They're going to walk over towards there. And that is going to actually be the engage onto University of Florida. 3-man quickening, and that's going to be 2 blown up. The Lucian does go down to the Malzahar. Ram onto Prophase. Valiant is going to come through to try to save him. Nice shockwave, all in vain though. Coma likely to go down. No, he does have a nice flash over the wall to get out, but that is a 3-for-0 for Anggi, and they're looking towards the Baron. You know, and that Malzahar really shredding it. You know, Sivir, 2 items, does have some crits coming through. Not necessarily whole ton damage, but the Malzahar is the thing that's going to make the difference here, taking down this Baron. It's going to go to Anggi, secured by the Jarvan Smite, and that's going to prompt a full reset, and we'll see what Anggi can do for the next couple minutes.
That was an incredibly valuable fight for Anggi there. Just a quick glance at the screen, you can see a lot of great out summoner spells for UF, and not that many for Anggi. Plus, they just picked up the Baron, so let's see what they do with it.
The thing that I'm personally eyeing right now is the fact that this Ram for the Ornn is going to come back up. The fact they're going to use that again, but really, something that I really want to see from Anggi moving forward is this flash Nethergrass coming from the Malzahar, just to promptly take out some target from the University of Florida. 3 items on this Malzahar, I'm sure he could do it alone.
So I'm not too familiar with Ornn counterplay, but I'm starting to wonder if maybe the Sivir pick was just to say, look, you're not going to have a spell shield for your AD carry this game. And that's just how it is.
Yeah, I mean, the Sivir really just kind of lets them get in. You know, the Ornn ult does knock everybody up. But then the Sivir just says, okay, everybody's going to get in there, not just the Jarvan moves ahead. They get in, but instead the entire team's able to run up and dive. And there's just nothing left for UF to get onto this Sivir, onto the Malzahar. Malzahar prompting to CC one person of anybody that could dive. That's another Ram. Let's get dodged out.
Looks like a warning Ram.
But that is going to be the turret. Zone, UF being completely zoned off of this turret. Gold lead up to 4.5. Anggi is looking towards this bot inhib turret. This Lucian half health, prompting to have to back here. Anggi is just going to back. No, it's going to catch the minion wave, and they're going to keep sieging. Oh, they have a great dive. That's going to be a 4-man knockup. But that's a huge shockwave. But that's going to be a Jarvan on the backline of the University of Florida. That's when he does get taken out. 2 down for the side of the University of Florida. Nethergrass coming through. Orianna does manage to trade 1 back, but that's going to be for the cost of another. The Alistar going down. Coma trying to do what he can. Gets cut down as well by the Sivir. And that's going to have to be the bot inhib turret and possibly the inhib. Orianna is the last thing that stands. But, you know, 1v4, I don't think that she stands a chance.
There we saw, I think...
Oh
wow.
Well...
Okay.
Prophase
says, don't mess with me.
Yeah, Prophase doesn't want this game. That's 2 down. Prophase just getting knocked up here by the Rakan. Triple kill for Prophase. He's going off. Does he even get the Rakan? That's going to be a quadra kill. 1v4. Prophase, what are you doing, man?
He's cleaning house. He said, listen, this is my base. I know you got comfortable there for a second.
He wants to win this GatorLAN.
That's right. And that's the power of Orianna, the really fed Orianna.
10 out of 12 kills. Coming through with a quadra kill just to save the game. You know, give them a little bit of a chance to get anything back here. Sure, they lose bot inhib turret, maybe they can get some gold back in their pocket, and really that's what they want, is to get some amount of gold back. They do wipe the Barons off of Anggi. They do get 1 turret back at the very least, really just to give themselves a better chance of trying to come back in this game. Gold lead is down to 2.5k, but still in favor of Anggi. Red buff will be stolen away by the Lucian, and this is going to, like I said, be the 4th Drake going towards the University of Florida, another Ocean. And now when that Elder comes up, that's just going to be a real threat. I believe actually that's the next Drake. Yes, it is. Blue buff is going to go over to Prophase. I would give it to him as well. Now, you know, if Prophase can just do the, you know, just a beautiful engage from the University of Florida, going in onto that bot inhib turret, 4-man knockup by the Alistar into a 4-man shockwave, just not enough damage coming out of the AD carry really yet. and not enough damage by the Oriana just to burst down 4 individual people with 1 spell rotation. You just have to think, if this game goes on for long enough, that eventually that Wombo dream does come true.
I can almost hear Lucian in my head saying, "All right, guys, just let me farm. Just let me farm. I'll get there."
I don't know, not if it's that booty. He just wants to keep making plays.
Oh yeah.
He wants to keep moving around. Sure, he wants more farm, but he still wants to contribute to fights. He doesn't just want to sit back and let anything happen. That's one thing I know that he has especially said. He likes to do. Even when he's behind, he wants to keep making plays happen.
Yeah, and he's a little bit behind in itemization.
Looks like European Fnatic Death Brush does fail for Anggi. We're in NA.
What a callback.
Not quite gonna happen here. We don't fall for those things in NA.
Is that true? I don't know about that.
Oh, I think so.
Again, they're waiting around.
They're just waiting around right now. Not a whole lot really to do. They're waiting for this Baron. They really do still believe that they have a stronger team fight. Ori super far ahead. But the chance of getting that 4-man shockwave is still pretty low, especially if you have all your abilities up. The Ram, again for Ornn, I've been stressing that, but that's just been such a game-changing ability for Anggi.
Absolutely.
And so they're just waiting around for this Baron, secure it, and just push through another inhib, and then be able to focus the top side of the map. And that's really what their goal is. University of Florida right now, kind of just letting things heed be, trying to get up a little bit of farm, get some extra items, because I think they know that this is coming.
I was worrying that we talked a little too much about Oriana in the pick ban phase, but it's turning out that she really is the centerpiece of this team.
100%. That's actually going to be collapse on the top side. Ooh, that's going to be a stun up on Salamander Man on this fight. He's going to be taken down 53 seconds on the Baron, 43-second death timer. He could possibly get back, but this is going to give Anggi a lot of control around this top side of the map. Top lane turret is going to go down. Don't think you need to be there at that point in the game.
Yeah, that was a pretty nasty collapse.
You have the Galio sitting on the boss side clearing out super minions. You want to defend all those turrets best you can, but sometimes maybe it's just a little bit too far. Just oversteps, gets caught out by the Malzahar, burnt Ghost for it, I believe.
Yeah. A little late in the game to be clinging to outer turrets like that.
Exactly. Sometimes you just gotta let these things go. Still though, 3.5k gold lead for Team Anggi. Baron goes live in 7 seconds. We'll see if they can do anything. See, they can secure this. Vi is back up on this top side of the map. Galio is still clearing out bot. Does have TP and ultimate. Baron is going to be started up for Anggi. This pink ward is going to have to be cleared out. UF does know that this is coming. Ram's going to be called. Or gone. 4-man knockup by the Alistar. Jumps onto the backline, driving Cataclysm, but that, you have a backline dive right now from this Vi. Does get taken down by the Mouse, are absolutely shredded. Bunch of low health bars on Anggi. Let's see if they can do anything. Prophase walking away. Does get out, and somehow this is going for US favor. That's a 3 kills. Maybe they can't make it 4. That's going to be 4, possibly 5. 5 kills. 5 for 2 for the University of Florida. Baron is life, but they're just going to elect to push instead. And what a turn in this game.
Galio says, "It's okay, guys. We don't need a wave."
And just like that, the damage does come through. The Infinity Edge was completed for the Lucian prior to that fight. We do see that damage coming through, like we mentioned. And Anggi just not quite enough damage to really take out those carries. Jarvan does dive really far yet again in these fights. The Ram, called on pretty early, is foregone, not used in these fights. A little bit of team fight misplay here on the side of Anggi.
Absolutely. I do wish we could do that esports rewind and take a look at that again in slow motion, but I do want to note that I was watching Oriana through that whole thing, and it looked like Jarvan really was prioritizing her, but no one else was. And then he was forced to turn around and for some reason focus Alistar, and that was really the killer for Anggi in that fight.
Exactly. Not to discredit the University of Florida, but you just have to wonder if Anggi does just somehow have these abilities and uses them just a little bit more effectively. As we had seen earlier on in the game, maybe this game is really different, and I so would believe so with the advantage that they had accrued. But now, the University of Florida has the foot on the gas pedal. They are the ones that can be calling the shots.
We were talking so much earlier about how devastating this Ornalt has been, but the last 2 team fights they've lost, it was because he used it too early or used it on the wrong person.
Exactly. TP is available for the Ornn, not for the Galio. Bot inhibitor for the University of Florida is respawned. That wave is pushing out. Actually, both side waves are pushing out. University of Florida does have an advantage in these, and they're actually going to be the ones pressuring the Baron now. 5-man group for both teams. Anggi is going to slip in a sliver of wards. They're going to actually keep the vision though around their jungle the best they can so that they don't get engaged on themselves. Elder is also live. Elder and Baron both. With UF having this advantage and having these 4 Drakes, they really have both objectives to go to. And if they secure either of them, it's going to mean a lot for Anggi. Either way, Anggi doesn't want to give up the Elder because of the 4-stack Elder Drake, but they don't want to give up the Baron because the Elder doesn't really do a whole lot for them. But it does look like they are moving towards the side of the map. They're going to take the Scuttle, at least shut down that side of the map. And now, University of Florida is actually starting up the Baron though in response. Anggi all together. They're not going to be in time for this. I think this Baron's actually goes to the University of Florida, and it does. Easily taken. Anggi immediately on the retreat to start defending waves. 3 minutes or so for the University of Florida to see what they can do with it.
And like you said earlier, Lucian did not wait around for his CS to come back. Instead, he made himself go from 0-5 to 3-5. And CS is sort of evening out, but he's really putting down that damage now.
Exactly. You know, in this Galio, with his tank items going through, he does have the gargoyles, as so does the Ornn. Galio offering just a little bit of more damage with that Roa in his build, and actually another blasting wand. Possibly, you know, like maybe a Rylai's or something coming through there. We'll have to wait and see, but either way, this University of Florida team is scaling. Orianna just, with that Rabadon's already done, and a Void Staff, a lot of any MR that gets purchased isn't going to do a whole lot for Anggi for the most part now. You know, it's Anggi needing to have a good fight, needing a good Ornn ultimate, finding another Wombo, but not just on a one person, but set onto multiple, and really clearing these Baron buffs, because right now, University of Florida are pressuring this map pretty hard, making a move right now for Elder, and that is something that Anggi cannot live to give up.
Looks like they are making their way over there, slowly but surely.
It's going to be the Elder started up for the University of Florida. Anggi standing around the side. They know this is happening. People are on it, but that's going to be the Elder just giving up to the University of Florida. And now they're immediately heading towards bot side of the map, pressuring this bot outer turret, bot inner turret. They should be able to easily grab this. Full health bars, everything is up. Summoner spells, ultimates. University of Florida just, they have the tools to really put this game away now. Baron buff, Elder, in the next minute and a half or so is theirs to work with.
And Elder with that double water drake too means that if they get poked, they can just back away and wait a couple seconds.
Exactly.
Re-engage.
Looks like University of Florida, though, electing to play this one just a little bit slower and ensure that they don't really screw up this one. Getting late into the game, they are respecting the fact that Sivir does have multiple completed items. Malzahar still able to shred tanks. They are just going to take this one much slower, ensure that they get a good fight, and ensure that they use this Baron buff the way that they want to. And right now, looks like actually multiple members, looks like all University of Florida is going to reset, buy their last items, and maybe make one final push towards Anggi's base.
Looks that way.
No, Elder Drake should still be on for quite a while for University of Florida, so they still have some time with it. Fairly sure, at least. And, you know, Baron buff still live on them. They do still have a real good shot of closing out this game. Looking for any kind of a pick Taking 4v5, starting up a team fight. It's still theirs with this Elder Drake. They are shoving up 2 waves at once, 1-4. The Orianna is going to start heading bottom to get that wave shoved in, and Anggi just electing to sit back and keep trying to wave clear this game out right now.
It's really interesting to see Orianna just constantly going off by themselves. Like, they're an independent robot. They don't really need a team. She'll come back, though, when it's time.
A lot of vision being cleared out for the University of Florida, ensuring that they don't get jumped on outside of the blue base walls. Shoving up many waves right here. Top wave finally getting towards the base. This mid lane inhibitor being eyed on. So it's going to be taken for them. And the ram is going to be called. Sivir ult coming in. Galio ult is actually canceled. Jarvan ult again dives way far on the back line, gets blown up. But this is going well for University of Florida. Exhaust going down onto the Lucian, but he's still unscathed, re-hitting this fight. Malzahar ult is going to cut down this Galio, but he lives forever. He's still alive. Multiple members going on each side, but this is going to be University of Florida pulling away in this fight. That is going to be 4-2 and potentially the game.
What a team fight. And you just, like you said, Lucian was unscathed until the very last bit of that fight.
Even then, it's still pretty low, showing that the AD carries are still very susceptible, but this actually will probably be the series. Looks like the University of Florida, unless somehow Rakan does some crazy damage, is going to be your 2017 Fall GatorLAN champions, taking out Team Anggi 2-0. GG, well played. What a series.
All right. And that's a wrap.
Yeah, and that's a wrap indeed. Thank you so much for watching. This has been GatorLAN Fall 2017 here on November 11th. We appreciate all of you guys committing your time to watching this event and supporting the University of Florida and UF Gator Gaming, League of Legends, or even just any other event in general. Thank you so much for watching. And once again, your 2017 Fall GatorLAN champions are UF Team 1, Barranco Coma, Salamander Man, Prophase II, Fat Booty, and Trap Luck. Your 2017 Fall GatorLAN champions.